First of all, you have to be able to integrate the entrance and exit of the tunnel seamlessly into the fabric of a city. So by having an elevator, sort of a car skate that's on an elevator, you can integrate the entrance and exits to the tunnel network just by using 2 parking spaces. And then the car gets on a skate. There's no speed limit here, so we're designing this to be able to operate at 200 kilometers an hour, or about 130 miles per hour, from, say, Westwood to LAX in 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes. There's no real limit to how many levels of tunnel you can have. LA subway extension, which is, I think it's a 2.5-mile extension that was just completed for $2 billion. So it's roughly $1 billion a mile to do the subway extension in LA. SpongeBob SquarePants. So Gary is capable going 14 times faster than a tunnel boring machine. Okay. He's not a patient little fellow. We want to beat Gary.
Sort of flying cars, drones, etc. You go above ground. Why isn't that a better solution? You save all that tunneling cost.
Right. I'm in favor of flying things. Obviously, I do rockets, so I like things that fly. This is not some inherent bias against flying things. Let's just say that if something's flying over your head, if there are a whole bunch of flying cars going all over the place, that is not an anxiety-reducing situation. For a while, we built a Hyperloop test track adjacent to SpaceX just for a student competition. It actually ends up being the biggest vacuum chamber in the world after the Large Hadron Collider. In order to seal against the water table, you've got to typically design a tunnel wall to be a good to about 5 or 6 atmospheres. So to go to vacuum is only 1 atmosphere. But we're going to try seeing how fast we can make the pusher go if it's not pushing something. I'm cautiously optimistic we'll be able to be faster than the world's fastest bullet train, even in a 0.8-mile stretch. Yeah, I think there's no real length limit. And if you go deep enough, you cannot detect the tunnel. DC to New York, I think you'd probably want to go underground the entire way because it's a high-density area. The Earth is incredibly good at absorbing vibrations, and once the tunnel depth is below a certain level, it is undetectable. Maybe if you have a very sensitive seismic instrument, you might be able to detect it.
You've started a new company to do this called The Boring Company. Very nice, very funny.
What's funny about that? You know, this is basically interns and people doing it part-time. So this is, once you have shared autonomy where it's much cheaper to go by car, and you can go point to point, the affordability of going in a car will be better than that of a bus. Like, it would cost less than a bus ticket.
And a few years ago, people were laughing at you. Now, not so much. I mean...
Okay. I think almost every automaker has some electric vehicle program. Some are very serious about transitioning entirely to electric, and some are just dabbling in it.
You could now just declare victory and say, you know, we did it. Let the world electrify, and you go on and focus on other stuff.
There are a lot of exciting things that we have coming. We've got obviously the Model 3 that's coming soon. We'll be unveiling the Tesla semi-truck.
Take the hands off the wheel and go to sleep and wake up and find that they've arrived. How far away is that to do that safely?
I think that's about 2 years. Yeah, so this is using only cameras and a GPS. So there's no LiDAR or radar being used here. This is just using passive optical, which is essentially what a person uses. The whole road system is meant to be navigated with passive optical or cameras. And so once you solve cameras or vision, then autonomy is solved. If you don't solve vision, it's not solved. So that's why our focus is so heavily on having a vision neural net that's very effective for road conditions. Like, you could probably do 10 times better than humans with just cameras. The car is unlikely to crash in 100 lifetimes or 1,000 lifetimes. Then people are like, okay, wow, if I would live 1,000 lives, I would still most likely never experience a crash, then that's probably okay. There's some chance that any time a human driver gets in the car that they will have an accident. That is their fault. It's never zero. How much better does autonomy need to be than a person before you can rely on it? And you can choose to use that car exclusively. You could choose to have it be used only by friends and family, only by share it sometimes but not other times. It's just a question of when.
Wow.